Guys, alrighty. I have a few commissions to do, so I just opened my stream to, kind of like do my commissions. I thought that it would be a great idea to, stream my commissions. What about that? You know, I've got quite a few, and I'm preparing my coloring tutorial, and it will be out soon. But yeah, there's no buts. I'm just preparing for it. It's got a long way to go because I have a lot that I needed to edit. It's gonna be a little longer than the last video. My last video is about like 5 minutes, right? So this one's about to be at least 4 minutes, and I'm about halfway done with editing it. So it's probably gonna be like, 8 minutes? Who knows? I reckon it'd probably be about like 8 minutes, and I'm just gonna like talk about the rendering stuff and then also like the shading stuff in that video, so you guys can look at it because most people ask me about rendering and shading. So yeah, that's about the new video. Hi Maven. Hello everybody. Might as well make a short. Yeah, I could actually. I could, might as well. Oh, and I've got a new laptop, but it's probably coming in like 2 months, so we're still gonna have to like stick with this shitty laptop for the time. You know, a little unfortunate. We could make shorts, but I'll have to like format the video a little bit again for this short. Otherwise, it's probably gonna be done very soon. Yeah, 2 months. You'll be in Hong Kong by then. I'll be in Hong Kong for like next month, somewhere in the next month, So I'm having my holiday as of now, so I've got a little more time to actually draw because I've just finished my exams, and yeah, so I've got a little time. Alrighty, commissions. Freaking commissions. Gotta draw the commissions even though it's not my favorite thing to draw. Alrighty, let me pull up the character sheet. Okay, so it's a Halloween themed artwork, and they actually give me the pose reference, which made it a lot easier. Yeah, it's gonna be 1 by 1. I mean 1 to 1. So let me just make it like 1 to 1 first. 2 FPS? Damn, yeah, like my laptop fucking sucks. How did it get that bad, It's just 2 FPS right now. Not right now, but editing. Alright. Okay, so let me make a square first. And just get like a really rough draft. Haven't seen your stream since you're going to Hong Kong before summer. How are you? I'm doing great actually. Like I'm doing a diploma degree right now in design. It's just basically first year program, and I get to finish my first trimester, yeah, because I just finished my exams. So I think it went pretty good, honestly. My grades are fine, and Australia is treating me very well. It's amazing. I've been to quite a few events in the artist scene. table a few times, market a few times, art stuff, yeah, just art stuff basically. But other than that, I haven't actually been to like a lot of I haven't been to, you know, a lot of like events that aren't art related. I should probably go out and touch some grass, even though I don't want to touch grass, unfortunately. Good to hear, thank you. It's alright, I think I'm doing pretty well, honestly. I'm going back to Hong Kong for a week next month, so we'll see how that goes. And right now I'm just focusing on my YouTube channel for at least for this holiday. My Instagram, I'm still uploading, but it's gonna be majorly like just post content instead of reels. Yeah, because I kind of want to like fix my like and follower ratio, since usually when you post a post, it should have about like 12% of your followers ratio. And well, it's about like 8 to 12%, but right now my posts are at like 5 or like 8%, so I kind of had to fix that problem. Yeah. Oh, hello Sam Hoi, hello Miumi. How have you been? Great to hear from you. Let me see. Just doing a little bit of, you know, commissions. Okay. I'll draw the like the head first so I can like do the outfit later. They have like the pose for me even, so it made it a little easier. Even though I kind of cannot see what's happening because it's a really, really rough draft. So super busy. Well, I've been pretty busy as well, but now that it's like a 3-week holiday break, now it's like less busy. So I've got some time to stream and make some videos. It's not like I will drop out of college to make videos anyway, so normally I couldn't make videos because I'm like busy. And I don't have much ideas for like videos as well, so the one I'm currently working on, as everyone knows, is the coloring tutorial. But after that, I'm not too sure what I would put out, you know. 3 weeks? Yeah, it's like I'm on my first trimester right now. So I finished my exams and waiting for the next trimester to commence. So yeah, it's a 3-week break. Yeah, I saw the stories. By the way, did you have time to play Deltarune? Not yet. In fact, I'm planning to stream and play Deltarune one day. Might as well play it today if I have time, you know. I'll see how it goes after I do the draft. It might take a long time, so... Speaking of which, well, it isn't speaking of which, but just random thought, you know. I kind of want to try cosplaying. Like, I kind of want to like cosplay Columbina, Farina, and Kaching because I really like them. But I'm not like confident enough to actually cosplay them, so not sure if I would do it. But it's a thought. It's a thought. I'm really bad with anatomy. Forgive me for this. Hello, kabooms! Long time no see. How have you been? Okay. The hands are What? What is this hand supposed to do? Let me look at it, the OC sheet. I actually really like the design of this commissioner's OC, so I'll try my best to like draw it. Okay, so it's a bit like this, I guess. Wait, I need my reference. The right, just hang around. Oh, nice. Glad to hear that you're doing alright. I mean, doing all right in this economy, that's kind of rare, but glad to hear. Should let me like fix this. You know what I do? I usually take a picture of my own hands and then start drawing. And no, it's not cheating. It's actually a correct way to do it, because what better than copying straight from an actual hand? If you look at reference from other people, it might have some errors, but if you look at your own hands, your hands is always correct. I mean, it's quite literally the hand, so that's what I usually do. If I could, I definitely would have referenced myself for the poses and I'll just like pose for the camera. Too bad I don't have like my body doesn't look very good if I translate it into like an anime style, so that's why I didn't do that. But I would love to do that because like I always envision the pose, but then I struggle to like draw it and then it ends up like something else instead. So it would be great if I actually pulled that off. I'm alive and don't have much to complain about, so you're good. Ooh, nice. Well, at least, you know, you're hanging on, so that's good enough. Break down Sorane Hina again. How you got the name? Okay, so let me break down my name Hina first, because I'm commonly referred to and I prefer to be referred to as Hina. And how I got the name was basically, if you know me for a while, you might know that I have a chicken plushie. You know the like so I have a plushie. This. So I have this Kiroi Tori plushie, right? So I really like this as a kid, even until now. It's still my spirit plushie. So I got my name because chicken, the cheap plushie, and chicken, or like a small chicken in Japanese, is Hina, right? So that's actually how I got the name Hina. My old name was not an old name, but the name I had was supposed to be Hiyoko, but well, I hadn't had an internet name before that. I just like made this name because one of my commissioners thought that it would be great if I had a name, because I talked to her like I kind of wanted to stream back then, like a lot of years ago, and she was like, you might as well make a new name. So I was like, how about Hiyoko? But then she told me that it's probably for like a bigger chicken, so the smaller chicks should be Hina. So that's how I got my name Hina. And how I got my name Sorane, right? It's because like so many people are called Hina already. So I don't want to like share a name with like 10,000 people. So I gotta make like a prefix that doesn't share the same name with others. So the way I did it, it was just like I combined the stuff that I like. What that means is that you guys might know I like music a lot. So ne in Japanese, it also means note, like music note. So that's one part of it done. And the prefix sorane, sora means sky, because I feel like I really forgot how I got the name Sora at the time, but it probably has something to do with my arts being like related to skies, magic, and everything. But I definitely did think about changing my name to something Hina instead of like Sorane Hina, because no one can pronounce it, which is pretty reasonable if you ask me. But I did think about, you know, changing my prefix. What do you guys think? Should I change it? I feel like I shouldn't, but I thought about changing my prefix a lot, actually. because I just didn't want to like share a same name with others. Hina is way too common, and if I want my username and like my artist name to not clash with somebody else, I needed to have a prefix. Anatomy is a work of art you can never master. Me neither. Good for you, me neither. Even though I make tutorials, I'm still pretty bad at this shit, so good for you because I don't either. Well, yeah. If I had to change my prefix, what should I change it to? What Hina? And oh wait, yes, that's actually a really good question to ask you guys. What else should I do? Like, what tutorial should I make? So I've made like the how to improve quickly tutorial. That actually did pretty well as my actual first video, if we exclude everything before, as those were like test runs. What else should I do? I'm working on my coloring video right now, but beyond that, is there anything you guys want to learn? Like, I'm thinking of doing something like, not a tutorial, but like a video about Krita versus Ibis Paint versus Procreate and versus CSP. Because personally, like, for us who are fucking broke, we don't have much money to work with. So if you buy a program, you probably want the best one. And in my very own opinion, that is my very hot take. I think Procreate is it's worth it because it's like only what, $8 or something, like $10 I think. $10 I think, I don't know. But the functions that it provides actually is kind of just Ibis Paint level. I think the filters and presets that Ibis Paint offers is a lot better than Procreate, but at the same time, Procreate is a lot smoother, especially when it comes to lasso tools, liquify tools, and then the UI also looks a lot better. I think Ibis Paint's UI just looks not the best, but I think functionality-wise, I actually prefer Ibis Paint. And especially because now there is some customized brushes, which made it like comparable to Procreate. So my very hot take is that you don't actually need Procreate. If you're working with an iPad anyways, you might as well just use Ibis Paint. Because like there's a lot of artists that does use iPad, like professional ones, but normally you wouldn't see like a professional artist using an iPad. Which is I think there's like reasons behind it, you know? First of all, iPad isn't strong enough to carry like good art programs. And second of all, really iPad, like what applications are there on iPad? Procreate and CSP, but that's kind of it. If you run your application on your laptop, you have a lot more shortcut keys. You can just buy a display, or you know, just you have a lot more to work with because your laptop is going to be much stronger than your iPad. So I feel like really anything is good enough as long as you're like a good artist, right? But I really haven't seen much professional artists that worked with iPads. Nah, don't change it. It's a cute prefix. Ah, thank you. What's the new laptop you're getting? It's a Legion Pro 5i or i5, whatever. I've looked at the specs and I feel like it's probably good enough. I mean, hopefully it is good enough. Let me read it out to you guys. Let me look at the specs and tell you guys about it. Give me a second. Let me see. Where is it? View order status. Alrighty. Let me see. The specs of the laptop. Okay, the processor is Intel i9 14th gen. And then the operating, of course, Windows. I would never use Mac OS. Well, maybe sometimes, but then generally not. And then memory. This is where I'm actually just slightly concerned. It's 32 gigabytes, which honestly I kind of would prefer 48 or 64 gigabytes. But it's not like I can get a 64 anyways, because like it's a laptop. Not much laptop has 64 gigabytes, you know? So if I want to, I feel like you can probably change the memory card, because it says here it's 2 times 16 gigabytes. So in theory, I should be able to get like a 32 gigabyte card and replace one of the 16s with it. Probably, if I really need it. And then the display is of course 16-inch. Right, the graphic card. Is it DDR5 RAM? Yeah, it is. The graphic card is NVIDIA RTX 5070, and then VRAM is 8 gigabytes. Now I've always thought, how come like a graphic card like this good would be like 8 gigabytes of VRAM, until I realized that it's like a NVIDIA problem. It's not like a laptop problem. Every single company of laptops always sells 8 VRAM. That's because NVIDIA only produces them in like 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Now, I don't know why NVIDIA does this, but it's not like I have another choice anyways, so gotta stick with it. And it's not like I run like very, very, very heavy load games. Even if I were to run them, right? I wouldn't play them often, because like what fucking games do I play? Genshin, Wuwa, Honkai Star Rail, not much. But I kind of like, you know, I want to play GTA. Because a lot of laptop use high RAM, but it's DDR4, which sometimes make me angry. If you have high RAM, might as well get a DDR5 or 6. Why would you get a DDR4, right? Like, why would you do that? But yeah, I think that 8 gigabytes VRAM isn't that bad. Not really. I think people who say it's like really, really bad, like it might be true when it comes to like if you're actually running very, 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 very heavy load stuff. But as a normal person who doesn't game 24 hours per day and who doesn't play like really heavy load games and turn on like the highest quality stuff, I'm pretty sure you can run every single game with like some medium or like low display settings. It's not gonna like stop you from what I see. Because let me tell you, my laptop currently is really fucking shit. How shit it is about like, you know how much VRAM I have? My display card is like the Lenovo Iris Xe display card. And the VRAM is what? 128 MB. It's not even 1 GB. So if my current laptop can kind of like barely run Genshin, I'm pretty sure you would be good with like 8 gigabytes of VRAM, alright? You're not gonna die, probably. That's just me though, because I don't game a lot. I just draw, mostly. Wait, why is there something in here? Barely run? 2 FPS? Nah, that's like the video editing software exporting my video, which is kind of funny. It's running on like 2 FPS. That's literally why it takes me so long to edit videos, because like the second I put something like some effects in, the second I put like transitions in, it's gonna load for like 10 hours before it actually renders it. But if I run games like Genshin and I close every single software except maybe my browser, which is like Firefox, then I'll be fine, you know? I'll be fine. It can run Genshin Impact on like the lowest settings possible. I literally run it on the lowest setting possible, like 30 FPS shit. The only thing I have on that is not the lowest setting possible is probably Bloom and also anti-antialiasing. How do I spell it? Like you guys get what I mean. God forbid my first language isn't English, so How do I spell Halloween? What the fuck? How do I spell it? It's 2 L's and 2 E's, right? Good enough. Well, it's not like my client needs to know what the file name is. It's just me. Aliasing? Oh yeah, anti-aliasing. Yeah, I run that. I do have that open, and on HSR, I think I have like 60 FPS or 30 as well. Forgot, but everything else is like on the lowest settings possible, or else my laptop would be so fucking cooked. Like it's gonna be beyond cooked. God damn it, like why do my sketches always take so long? What do you mean this is already like 20 minutes worth of sketch? This is crazy. What the fuck? Wait, you know what we could do? You know, might as well. It's not like it doesn't work, you know? This saves me so much time. You don't use full-on guidelines? What do you mean? Like, oh, you mean like phase guidelines or something? I don't, just because like, by the time I've made like all the guidelines, I probably would have drawn a phase that is like 90% accurate. But yeah, you probably should use guidelines. That's what I'm saying. You probably should. I like how I'm just like casually giving up bad advices on stream and just say like fuck this, fuck that. Like just draw however you want to. But then I also make tutorials. I'm also like a guide maker who gives like shitty advice on stream. On videos, I'm like, oh, do not do this, do not do that, you should probably turn this on, do this option, this is gonna help you improve your art. And then in live streams, I'm just like, yeah, let's ball this. Like the hand was just drawn from thin air. Because when I draw hands, I just take a photo of my own hands and then copy it. It's not like I can't use guidelines because like, okay, I just said I never went to art school, which is true, but I've been to like art hobby classes, okay? And they still taught me as a kid how to draw stuff from like based on objects and like simple shapes. But yeah, not gonna lie, my foundations aren't really good because again, I didn't go to like art school. But I can draw it like with guidelines, just that I choose not to because referencing my own hand saves me so much time. That's why. Funny attack on this stream is advice. I know, right? Well, it doesn't say I can't give advice. It says on like the it says on the title, come and ask me anything. So, you know, I can always just like answer your questions if you actually want to ask, and that's gonna be advice. Oh, how convenient. Tips on drawing hands, please. I'm probably not the best person to ask how to draw hands, but start with like, okay, so, okay, I'm actually going to, because you asked so nicely. Like, if it were me, I would have just like copied it or referenced it based on like a photo, or my own photo, or some like Pinterest references, right? No, I didn't say do not use references. I said use references. It's a good thing to use references. Okay, so if you look at a hand, right? It's composed of two parts. That's like the palm, and then this part, we're just going to separate it into like different like finger sections. It's gonna be like this is the fingers. So if you look at this shape, right? This you can just like how do I put it? Think of it in like 3 different shapes. So break it down. That's one. And then the fingers, just think of like the general fingers stuck together first. Don't separate it by the stage. You couldn't bother separating it right now. That's second. And the thumb, which is, wait, it should be a little taller than this. That's the third. So separate that into 3 parts, and then when you like just look at one part at a time, you can actually look at it as like a little like rectangular box, because you know hands are 3D. So if you look at it, it's actually a box-like shape. And then when you smooth it out, cut off the edges, that's your rounded box, which is actually the palm of your hands. Hello, Pebbles. I'm trying to explain in my own terms how to draw hands. You know, like, I feel really bad for making guides and tutorials because, like, I'm a fucking person who never went to art school, who learned, like, I learned art from, like, hobby classes as a kid, and, like, I learned art from, like, Google. Also, may I ask something, please? I don't hope it's not too forward. Yeah, go ahead. I don't mind. Okay, while you type your question. So look at the palm, alright? That's how you transform this one box into like a palm shape. That's because it starts off as a box, right? That's how every single 3D object works. Even if I were to look at a pen today, so a pencil, right? A pencil is a 3D object as well, so when you look at it in another perspective, it's actually a little like a cylinder, or, you know, a square cylinder or hexagon, however your pencil may look like. So of course there's gonna be like 3D. So what we do is just transform this first part first into this 3D object. That's our palm. And then for the fingers are a little probably something that most people struggle with. I think a general like rule, if you can't draw like advanced hand poses yet, separate it like this first. Don't even bother about like cutting it first. Just make it one. So let's say you wanna do something like curled fingers. Think of it as like one object first. One plane, except like instead of 4 separate fingers, think of it as like one plane first, because that helps you stick to your guidelines and wouldn't make your fingers like all over the place. And after you've figured out the plane, that's when you actually cut the fingers out. I mean, that kind of sounds wrong, but that's when you like separate the fingers, you know? That's actually way better than like as a beginner to hands. That's better than like drawing them individually. Because when you draw them individually, your thought process would be I'll draw one first, I'll draw the second, I'll draw the third, and then I'll draw the fourth. So your thought process would be one by one. But then if you draw it as a plane, your thought process would instead be I draw a plane first, and then I separate the plane into 4 fingers. What happens is when you draw a plane, you're going to stick the base part to the hand anyways, so there's less chance of a mistake to happen. And then separate them. Instead of like drawing one first, drawing the second, drawing the third one, drawing the fourth one, and then look, wait, why isn't my hand handing? That's what happens if you draw them individually without thinking about the plane. So the same concept, right? When you did the finger, okay, I should probably clean this a little bit. When you finish drawing like your fingers, generally, think of that as the same concept I told you about the palm plane. Just translate it into 3D. So if it's like a rectangle like this, it probably would become a cylinder. And then maybe there's a little shadow on here. Or, well, I've seen some professional artists that has this art style. Fingers are like a rectangular cylinder. It also works. That's how your fingers are gonna work. And then this is gonna be the joint. That's the other joints, probably. And then that's like the middle part. So there's like 1, 2, 3 parts. They're all cylinders. That's how you draw the finger. I know there's like a lot of things happening on the screen, but I've tried my best. I'm probably not the best person to ask advice from, but I'm trying my best to deliver advice for my fellow Gen Z, Gen A'ers. how to render hair. Sorry, I didn't answer your question in like 10 minutes. How to render hair? That's a great question. I actually am covering this in my new coloring tutorial, which is hopefully, no guarantees, hopefully gonna be up in like less than a week, maybe a few days. So, how to render hair? I'm gonna tell you before I actually get out of the video, but that's gonna be covered in the video. So, think of the hair as something like close to skin tone. So I'll talk from the base coloring. So basically, okay, wait, is there a better way to explain this? Alright, so when you think of hair, right? Maybe this is your skin, and then maybe that's your hair. That looks really, really shitty. Okay, just whatever, just for explanation purposes, alright. That's your hair. Okay. So, first off, to give the kind of like, transparency to the hair. Okay, this really looks fucking bad. I'm gonna switch back to this. Okay, to give the transparency to your hair, think about it as a little bit like as the hair base. So, think about the skin tone first. So let's say that the base color of my character is red, right? So think about the base tone. If it's close to the skin, so something around here, these strands are close to the skin. So give a little airbrush to it. That's the first step. After you did this step, there's already some progress, because as you see, your hair actually blends in with the skin well, which kind of gives it that transparency to it. Or alternatively, you can always just, erase the end of the strands. That's the first step. Second step, create a layer, clip it, set the blending option to multiply, and then color that same layer with whatever color is in your background. So for me, it's purple. Lower the opacity a little bit. Maybe this purple will work better. Okay, then, oh wait, Jaden. Hello Jaden. How do you find your creative process? I'll talk about it later, even though I'm not too sure how I should explain my creative process. I'll talk about it in a while. So, how do you shade? That's the real part. You probably want to know how to render, but I'll start from the base shadings as well. Just, I'm gonna like really quickly skip this part. Just find the light source, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Maybe the light source is here, maybe there's like a little bit of shadows in here, maybe the light source is here, who knows? Maybe a little bit in here. That's just a demonstration, okay? So after you've done this step, combine the two layers, or not, depending on what you like. I generally would first. Create a new layer, clip that, and then set the mixing option to overlay. Use like a similar color and then spray on top. This step, in my very own art style, is so important because it lets you recolor the hair. So instead of making it look muddy like this, well, you can always work with this, but that's just how I do it. I would recolor the hair a bit first, so that it looks glowy. That's what I would do. Lower maybe a little bit of the opacity, combine them again. And then optionally, if your hair looks too bright, which is going to be a problem because of the next step, just make it a little less saturated. Be something like this. Okay, so why did I just recommend lowering the opacity first? It's because the next step, wait, sorry, not opacity, fucking saturation, is because the next step is to actually put in some saturated colors. I'll demonstrate it once and you guys would get it, hopefully, without much explanation because I'm actually covering that in my upcoming video. So let's say, for example, your secondary color in your artwork is red, or maybe your hair is monotone, so it's gonna be red. Then you color it with red, a little bit in like the intersection area. Of course it takes a couple of few tries because I'm not that good anyways. And then what you do for the light parts, use something similar to the skin. So what I mean is that if you look at this red, right, it's less like saturated as this red, like this one. So if you use like a lighter skin tone or lighter hair tone, it's gonna blend in with your skin better. Even if it's not right next to it, if you zoom out, you would actually feel that it blends in a little bit with like the character. I'll just do it really quickly because I don't have time to like fix it. And then the last step I would recommend, well, of course, like color a bit shading in your dark parts as well to make it even more 3D. The last step, which is I think is also very important, use a secondary color or like a different color. Preferably something similar but not too similar. So for example, red and blue. And then give that a little decoration here, so that it looks a little bit like jelly, and then blend it of it. Use like I wouldn't recommend using a blending brush like these because that makes it just like stick together. Use something like a shaped blending brush. So let's say triangle, square. It could also work instead of an airbrush. Blend it a little bit. Just roughly, you don't have to do it like very detailed because that actually ruins it, believe it or not. If you're going for my art style, okay? Then it will actually look really good. That's how I generally render hair. And then just fix up the parts a bit, maybe. That's actually how I render hair. Of course, I wouldn't like detail it right now, but that's how I do it. It's just the same process. So you use an airbrush for the translucent look. For the base part, yeah. A good example would be this piece that I drew. You don't have to use an airbrush, just use something like semi-transparent or something that mixes with the base color and it will work the same. Let me open the other artwork. That's like gonna be a good example. So you use same values but different colors to make it more colorful? Yes. The value may not be the same, but as long as it's a little bit similar. You know? About the hue thing, generally for the light parts of the hair, I would use something that's orange, red, or like skin, or desaturated if your hair is like blue or green. And for the smaller details that makes it kind of look like a jelly, I would use something similar, which if you put the two colors in a white piece of paper, it might clash together. But then since it's on such a small dot, it actually complements each other pretty well because it makes the small dots look like they're reflecting. That's what I do. Okay, so for example, this is a pretty good example for what I mean. You see how the hair strands in here? here. You see how it's mixing a little bit with the skin? That's because when I did the base color, I used a little skin color to spray on here when I did the base coloring. So afterwards, even when I shade, it's gonna retain like the little skin color bit in here, which makes it blend in pretty well instead of course it would look good as well, but that's just my art style, okay? Just my art style. If you use something like the same color of the hair to shade it, it's gonna look less like airy. So compare that a little bit. This looks much better for me. Disclaimer. 100 disclaimers just for me, okay? If you use the same color as the hair for the whole thing, it's gonna look a little hard. Like the hair doesn't feel hair because it feels like a rectangular piece of blue paint which stuck on the what's that called again? Just stuck on the forehead, yeah. But if you use a little like pink or skin color to spray it, then now it looks a little more transparent, which actually recreates the effect of real hair. Because when you're like in the top of your head, that's where your hair grows, right? So it's most concentrated in there. There's most hair, like there's a lot of hair in there. But then when you reach the parts where it's like longer, or maybe your bangs that like close your face, right? Now it's a little bit more separated because the same hair strands has to like split to different ends. That's how it actually works, and that's why I do this like skin color thing. So you use a more extreme version of reflected light to make it seamless. Kind of, yeah, you can kind of read it like that as long as you kind of understand why I did that. How to make the character blend in the background so it felt like it belonged there? Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question. I have a really big struggle with backgrounds, and let me explain why. That's because when I draw my artworks, I actually draw the subject first. A lot of the times. For these two pieces, I drew the background first, or the subject with the background at the same time. So that's the first step. Draw the subject with the background together. That makes you have like planning for both of them. So you wouldn't just like complete the subject first and then add in the background, because it's always harder to like do them separately and then make them blend together. So why not just do them at the same time, so that they naturally would blend in together, because you're doing every step for both of them together, right? Thank you. Oh no problem, Jaden. No problem. So that's the first step, is to do your background planning and the subject planning at the same time. So something like this. That's like how it blends in well, is because when I thought about this artwork, my vision was a character standing on top of some buildings with very strong perspective. That's the first step. And then the second step is to choose similar colors. So you see, this is a little bit of a fail, I'd say. But I kind of solved this problem with having the background a little bit lighter when it comes close to the subject, which kind of still works, I guess, because the subject is so light, like the part of the skin is so light. That's how Columbina looks like. So I made the background like blend in a little better. So you see, like if hair strands are pink, then the background here, it blends in a little bit purple, which is gonna be similar to pink. Hello Demon Smith. Hello, thank you so much for the follow. And then I added some red ribbons and pink flowers because, again, the hair is pink. So it makes the background have the same color palettes with the character, which actually makes it blended. So dark background, and then like blue, purple dark background. Sorry, like I actually have a little bit of speaking problem right now. I don't know why. Maybe because I just recovered from my sickness or something. And then again, dark purple, dark blue in here, which complements the background. And then pink color hair, pink color background, blue colored outfit, blue colored ornaments, and blue colored background. That's how I do it. For this one as well, match the background with the color of the subject. So purple in here, a little bit of like purple bluish stuff in here, and also purple buildings in here. And then a little bit like red in here, and see red in the subject. So basically stick with the similar color palette. So if you use like blue for your subject, use something like around this range for the background. Of course you can just use every single color, but if you struggle to make the background blend in, then use something similar as a starter. When you practice more, you will know how to balance the brightness and values and then incorporate it in your background. This is a pretty good thing to talk about as well, which is the process I drew this Cerebral artwork is actually like this. So, how to choose the right colors? I'm gonna like explain that in a second. I forgot to say I love the way you color on like the scenery. Thank you so much. That really makes me happy. I apologize, bloody shattered, but can you clarify or give an example? Like which part? Just let me know. Alright, I'm gonna continue saying this first. This is a little bit different because I actually drew the background first, and then if I recall it, I used gradient map. So for example, if my character had blue colors, I would choose a blue gradient. That's the color gradients. Maybe if my character is, blue, purple, red. And then maybe something like this would fit in as well. Or maybe this. And if my character is a little bit redder, then maybe this. Or if you really want a very cool effect and you don't mind if like the background didn't fit in very, very well, then you could also go with like red background, blue character, which gives it a really like great contrast, which makes it pop. It's also a way to do it. Maybe something like this will fit as well, look. So this would actually fit very, very well. You see how that seems familiar? That's actually because I used the same gradient for this one. Look at the background. So I knew my character was going to be red, magenta, white, and a little bit of like yellow in here and there. So I chose like a warm color palette or gradient for the background. That's how I think about it. That's how I choose the colors. Well, when I do the lighting, I somehow overdo it. Ooh. Okay, I have the same problem with you. Back then. Now I still have this problem, but then I'm trying to fix it. So how to not overdo the shadows, right? Think of it as like, wait, I gotta pull that picture up again. Just give me a second. Let me pull that one picture up. Give me a second. Okay. This one picture. Hello, prototype. Hello, it's long time no see. Okay. How to not overdo shadings. You guys better subscribe after I did so much explaining. No, just joking. Okay. So if you look at this ball, which I drew on paper, of course, there's two parts. It's just this and this. Wait, let me use another color. Just this and this. The red in the middle is the Okay, I really don't know what this is called in English. Okay, so forgive me for this. I don't know what this is called in English. So there's only 1 and 2 planes basically, or area if you want to like define it like that. Oh, hello, Deb. Hi. Hello. Is your holiday now? So you're free? Isn't it like holiday in Hong Kong as well? Isn't it like China? What is that called again? Like country holiday. What is it in English? Like, you know when you establish a country? Country establishment holiday. I think it is like holiday in Hong Kong today. Okay. So there's 2. So if you like translate that to a hairpiece as well. Think of it as like a hairpiece. So think of it as a little bit like this ball. Except maybe I'll like, flip this around. Okay, whatever. So think of it as kind of like a sphere. Separate that into like maybe 2 planes or 2 parts. However you're like, just up to your lighting direction. It could be like this, it could be like this, or it could be like this as well. Just for the sake of explaining, let me do this. So when you do this to your hair, you actually separate that into 2 parts. So that's the shade, that's the light, similar to this ball. That's the shade, that's the light. Alrighty. How to not overdo it, right? Is to try to not give too much light in here. Like, do not put lights in here. Of course you can. Do not take this into consideration if you already know what you're doing, okay? Because as you can see, I actually put some lightings in like the dark areas as well, but that's more because I kind of know how to balance the amounts that I want to lit up even in the shaded areas to give it that pop. But if you don't really know how to do it or are not that familiar, think of it as 2 planes. So only shade in this part and only light in this part. And then maybe you can have a little bit of shading in here. Little triangular shadings just to like define the hair strands. But that's it. Keep it like this. Think of it as 1 and 2. Your 1 and 2 is gonna be this. 1 and 2. Light and dark. That's how you think about shading. That also applies to like clothes. So think of a ribbon, right? It could be something like this. So again, for this part only shade, for this part only light. If you're not too familiar with lighting and shading, if you're struggling like how you mentioned you are, stick with this guide first. This is the basics of lighting and shading. And then when you're more familiar with it, you would add in bounce lights, which is here. This is called a bounce light. Okay, I'm trying my best. I'm doing a design program right now, so I'm not an art student. I'm just like a mere design student, so bounce lights should go here. That's how to break it down. You want to start drawing, but you don't know where to start? If you have 0 basics to drawing and you're actually committed to it, I would say really start with the basics. What I mean by basics is quite literally this. Copy something around you. So if you look out of your bedroom, you might see maybe a tree, maybe another unit. So start copying it. So for example, if you see a tree, copy the tree. For as a starter, you might not do it very well. Maybe you just like do something like this as a tree. Maybe just something very, very simple. That's okay. That's how everyone starts, right? There's a reason. I think these practices are really good. No need to overcomplicate it. What you see, just draw it down what you see. And then that's because I think, okay, I've never taught kids how to draw, but you know how those children artworks that look like this? And then maybe a sun in the corner. This is actually a really good concept because you're actually simplifying the shapes. When you simplify the shapes, that means that you don't see the tree as like 1 leaf, 2 leaf, 3 leaf, 4 leaf. You don't just like 100 leaves in here, 100 leaves in here, and then let me add the branch. That's gonna take you 10 hours, right? So instead, look at the general shape of the tree. Maybe there's a little bit of leaf in here, so there's a little bit of leaf in here. That's the general shape of the tree. Start with like the basic shapes. Practice how to simplify objects. So maybe you see a air conditioner. Maybe air conditioner looks a little bit like, you know, maybe there's like some wires in here. Maybe there's a fan in here. Maybe there's another socket in here. I don't know. Simplify that to one shape first. When you're confident, add in another shape. So practice with drawing cubes, and then maybe spheres. Okay, I'm on the display tablet, so don't mind me. Oops, my laptop isn't the best. Maybe triangles as well. Just practice these shapes over and over again, because that's the basics in my opinion. When you look at some objects, you can learn how to simplify them. When you see a tree, you don't think about 1 leaf, 2 leaf, 3 leaf, 4 leaf. You think about how to group them together. That's one big leaf. That's another big leaf. That's another big leaf. So it makes it simpler. Yes, it looks like children drawings, but that's literally how you draw. That's why children draw like this. That's because they start like this. Maybe mountains as well, 1 mountain, 2 mountain, 3 mountain. Even if you draw something like this, you're learning how to layer your objects. That's the base layer, that's the second layer, that's the first layer. You're learning how to layer your objects. So start with like very simple drawings. Even if it's just like stickmen. Draw some stickmen that's raising their hands. Learn how to balance them. Don't make this arm too long, this arm too short. Think about how they might actually, in reality, raise their hands. Maybe it's actually 1 to 1. That makes it, makes sense. Start with the basics like this. And then, when you've got the hang of it, spheres again. Or boxes, however you can. Like, which one, if you want to. Try to shade them, like, think about how shading works. So if there's a sun in here, there's gonna be light in here. So this is gonna be lit, this is gonna be dark. That's your basics. If you're working with a box, that also works like this. Maybe this is dark, maybe this is a little dark, and this might be the brightest. Because all the skills you learn from this, it's all gonna directly translate into drawing. Because it's quite literally the same concept. If I have a sphere here, let's say the hair, right? If I have a sphere here, this is actually my light direction. That's the shadows. So all the basics you learned from drawing simple stuff translate into the more complex stuff. Just that you're changing the silhouettes, you're changing the shapes. That's what I would say, yeah. Have you ever done pixel art? Yes and no. If you look at the bottom left corner, that's a simple, very, very simple pixel art. I haven't done like big pixel art. I haven't done like a whole piece of pixel art yet. But, maybe I'll try. Maybe. Just maybe. I feel like pixel art would be fun, but you probably need a very, very strong foundation of like non-pixel art to make it look good. Back to the commission. Thanks, you're so nice. No problem. Just like and subscribe. Shameless plug. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Hansuko. Thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you. Alrighty, back to the commission. Yeah, and again, I'm gonna release a tutorial maybe in this week if I can manage to edit it quickly. Because I don't want to make like my videos too boring. I want to add in like some editing as well. So I'm also actually learning editing right now. Not too good of it, but not too bad of it. So I guess it works. I just make pixel art from a blank page, but again, it depends on the person of how they make pixel art. So like on a plain A4 paper, and then you separate it into like a lot of mosaic pieces. Is that what you mean? Oh damn it! Why is the air conditioner so hot? You know, okay, you guys might have known already. I'm living in like a student accommodation because I'm overseas, okay? Now I'm like there's a center air conditioner, so I'm sharing one with like the other roommate. But then I think my other roommate, she's scared of cold. So now she has like the aircon on heater mode. And what temperature is it right now? Like, what? Let me search it up. It's 26 degrees. She's on heater mode. Why? How to shade skin. It's the same concept, but replace, like, you remember how I say use different color to shade, right? And use saturated colors in the middle of the intersection points, right? The same concept, but then replace like all the other colors with like something similar to the skin. So only use like the skin tone to do the shading. You know what I mean? Just replace it with orange, red hues, or you know, whatever color the skin is. Is the rice cooker alive? Yeah, it still is alive actually. Believe it or not, the rice cooker is alive, in fact. Congratulations to the rice cooker for surviving all the things it has been through. If you're a new audience, you probably don't know this. It's an inside joke. 925, let's go, 925. Good, madam, I just ate. Just 27 degrees is 22 degrees down here. Jesus Christ, get me out of Australia. Let me back to Hong Kong. It must be freezing right now. What is it? It's October right now, isn't it freezing? Get me back to Hong Kong. God damn it. Maybe this is the one time I would allow someone to say go back to your country. Yeah, send me back to Hong Kong. This is so hot. Get me back to my country. Have you thought about how to get a creative process? Oh, right. Sorry. I am so sorry for not answering the question. How my creative process is. Okay. First off, most of my art I do is some fan art. So naturally, I already have like the concept of what the character is. So for example, this, wait. Wait, what is this? What is this layer? Oh, okay. So naturally, I already kind of know what the character does. So for Sarija, because I play on JP's Katie Gyola. She is the imperator. She is based on Julius Caesar, kind of like that. And then she is a tyrant. And she also has the chessboard as a really, really, really big part of her design. So she has chess everywhere. So what I thought is maybe she walks on a chessboard. That would be cool because she's related to chess. If she controls the chess, controls pawns, controls queen chess pieces, what if she became a chess piece instead? So now she walks on the chessboard and controls the chess behind her. That's my first thought. Oh, it would be cool for this character to walk on the chessboard. It would be cool for this character to, you know, be on the moon because she quite literally is the moon goddess. That's my first thought. The second is to kind of search on Pinterest for pose references, background references, concept references. So for example, the concept of a character being on like a racetrack, which looks similar to a chess piece, is actually something I found on Pinterest. So I searched up more chessboards on Pinterest and learned a little bit about chess. Okay, I actually did learn a little bit about chess because of this artwork, just because I wanted to be more accurate. So I put the pawns on here, there's like a pawn here, and then there's is that a rook? I forgot. So I kind of learned that, on Pinterest I saw a chessboard, which the chess pieces, like this board, this plane over here, is actually tearing out. And that looks kind of cool, so maybe I'll incorporate that. So how do I make it make sense? Maybe the character is stepping on the chessboard. That's why it's broken, that's why it's flying out. So you see, I already have generated so many thoughts in my head already. The last step is just to put it together. That's pretty much it. And then for this, I might have thought like, this character in lore actually sits on the moon. So maybe I'll have her sit on the moon again. So that's on the moon. Draw the moon on here, and then maybe there's flowers in here because in the lore, she actually does live in a flower place. If it's something like OC, that's my OC. The thought process first is to design the character. So I actually do have like a separate design sheet, and then I again put all of those stuff that I thought about together again. That's kind of the creative process. Yeah. You're getting off a bit sleepy in here. Have fun. Thank you so much. It's like 34 degrees. Oh my god, that sucks. Aren't you in like Singapore? It must be like so hot in there. You know what? I will go back to my country. This is so hot. Jesus Christ. How do you live in Australia? What? Even though, you know what? Actually, Hong Kong is probably a lot hotter than Australia when it actually is hot. But now that it's winter in the rest of the world, please send me back. I'm gonna be in here for 3 weeks without doing anything. Oh my gosh. Damn it. You need to enjoy the summer heat and magpie swooping season at the same time. Good for you, there's not much magpies in Gold Coast. So good for you. This is so hot. I'm dying actually. Believe it or not. Because of the heat. The goddamn heat. God damn it. See, I just used the same technique I said on how to draw hands. You got swooped by an Oreo with wings just this morning? Yeah, have fun with other animals such as seagulls swooping your French fries out of you. So how are you? I'm doing alright. It's just really hot in here, Jesus Christ. Oh, actually, there's one thing. I'm waiting for my grades to be out. Because you remember how I said I just finished my exams, right? I'm waiting for my grades because So there's a scholarship program. As a domestic student, as an Australian, I have the right to compete for a scholarship. But then the problem fucking is in the diploma, which is like the year 1 program, there's a lot of different like students across all the subjects. We only get 2 scholarships out of all the subjects. We only get 2 out of all the subjects. 2! So probably, you probably need like, what? HDs and everything. 7.00 GPA and everything for that one scholarship chance. And you know the worst part? I am actually getting all HDs up until an assignment where I got 75, which is a distinction, not a high distinction. So, and that assessment is worth like 30% of the points. So, I probably don't have a chance, you know. Because if I'm competing with every single like course, right? That probably means that like someone's probably gonna get HDs in every single assignment. Some crazy people is gonna get like HD in every single assessment. So I think I don't have a chance, you know? Unless no one actually get all HDs. Oh god, I really hope, like, this sounds so bad, but I hope no one gets all HDs, just so I have a chance to compete. Because I'm pretty confident that I will get 7.0 GPAs in every single course except one. Which, that one, I think I will get a distinction instead. So I really fucking hope that no one gets all HDs in every single subject, just so I have a chance of getting the scholarship. Because you know how huge that scholarship is? It's so huge that it's like free tuition for the next trimester. Free! $0 for the next trimester. I really want that scholarship, okay? I really want it. That's how much I want the scholarship. Please give me the scholarship, please. Look, I'm running a business, I'm doing content creation, I'm doing social media, I'm doing art, and I have ADHD at the same time. So I feel like if anything, me getting all distinctions and high distinctions, I should deserve the scholarship, okay? Please give me it. I don't want to pay my tuitions, it's too goddamn expensive. Just give me the scholarship, man. I just want it. I gotta pay my rent. Dude, where's my Centrelink when I need it? Getting sued by flying onion in Australia? Yeah, that's like literally the daily in Australia, dude. My GPA is out and you're cooked. My brother in Christ, you're in Singapore. I'm pretty sure like anyone in Singapore would be cooked with your academic stress. Isn't it like really stressful in Singapore? I don't know, like I've heard that academics is really hard in Singapore. Don't you guys learn like something in advance? That's kind of scary, you know? Yeah, it is. Yeah, that sucks. Hope you get it. Thank you so much. But you know, like really, my goal in Australia is pretty much just to like enjoy my time here, and then I don't know, like content creation, make some YouTube, make some Instagram. Do some art markets, run my business. That's my goal for the few years now. I'm here to like run my business. Even though it's just like a, you know, an impossible goal. It is, yeah. Where's the picture that my client sent me? Alright. Okay. the other hand. Dream got randomly recommended to me and just want to say your art is so cute. Thank you! Hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna show you my other artworks. While you're at it, while you aren't out of my channel yet, probably, maybe, hopefully. These are my artworks. Oh wait, let me do my iconic introduction. Not really iconic, but introduction. Hi, I'm Hina, and these are my artworks. And these are my artworks. Now every single of my videos are gonna start with like the intro. Hi, I'm Hina, and these are my artworks. That's gonna be my intro. Back to this commission. Right, let me reference my hand again. Your colors are so pretty, thank you! Let me see, let me draw the hand again. Alrighty. You know, like, chat, I'm having my holiday right? I really feel like playing some Minecraft. Oh right, see Mollusk, I am actually doing tutorials. You might be interested in it. Just so you know. On my channel there's a tutorial, and then I'm actually getting another coloring tutorial out in this week, hopefully, if I'm quick enough to edit it. I'll probably watch and just see how people do different things in art. Thank you. Subscribe and like. Yes, please. Thank you. I'm trying to build a YouTube channel. That's my first actual video. There is actually another video before that, but it's kind of like the style is different. It's just like a different editing. It's just like a casual video. It's not like a tutorial. But now I'm kind of looking at like actually talking about art more, talking about some tutorial more, and maybe I'll game sometime and make it a video. Let me know if you guys would like to see me game. I really don't know how to draw hands like this. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Molas, for the subscribe. Thank you so much. Been struggling with tiny bits of art blocks, so it blows my mind seeing other people draw hands so well. Here's the thing, I referenced my own hands. That's the I did. Oh, you were late to the party. I explained how I draw hands. If I were to explain, if I were to not reference my own photo, I did explain how I would draw hands. Like by separating different parts into different planes into 3D objects. But generally, if I were normal and didn't want to suffer, since I already kind of know how to draw hands, I just reference my own photos or find something on Pinterest. That's usually how I do it. Yeah. For something like this, for example, for this hand, since it's like so small, it quite literally doesn't matter if it's a little bit wrong. As you can see, it's actually quite wrong in here, a little bit. Yeah, I think it's a little bit wrong, just a little bit though. But it's so small that it doesn't really matter. That I wouldn't like focus on like, oh, I gotta make this like 100% accurate. These fingers should be a little bit, you know, in there more. It shouldn't be this low. It should be like upper here. No, it's so small that people wouldn't notice it. But for many hands like this, then maybe people would notice it, and maybe, you know, I would focus on my photo or like the reference more. That's how I draw hands. But you know my real struggle? My real struggle isn't hands, it's feet. I don't know how to draw feet. I really struggle with feet. Damn it. No, I relate to that so hard. Shoes and feet, I'm like allergic to drawing. I get you. Like, whenever it gets to shoes and feet, I am suddenly allergic to drawing. I'm just allergic to it. No, I'm not doing that shit. So what about drawing eyes? Ooh, funny how you predicted my video. In my video, I did say that like eyes work like that as well, like with the same method I'm going to discuss in the video, which is going to be out soon. But then I didn't actually explain it a lot. I just said that there's a tutorial up on my Instagram or TikTok, I think. So if you're interested, go watch it. But one day, maybe, I'll explain how I draw eyes. But you know the reason why I kind of don't want to make an eye tutorial? That's because I don't actually draw eyes well. If you zoom in on my eyes, if you zoom in, it's actually pretty bad. I actually don't draw it well. Like, it's very simple. Like, it's just color blocks, you know? That's just how I make it work. If you zoom in on it, it doesn't actually look very good. That's why I never really want to like explain how I draw eyes. It's because of like, you know, I just think it looks bad. So I kind of don't want to like explain it just to not like have people confused on how to actually draw eyes. Because if I'm not too confident with it, I'm not sure if I should make a tutorial. Even though, that being said, actually, I didn't thought about making tutorials at the start. I just thought of becoming like a art VTuber and just stream games and stuff. But then, you know, I'm actually not that interested in games. The only games I play is just Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, and, you know, RPGs. But I need to have more variety if I actually want to be a VTuber. So instead, my chat told me in Discord, they told me like, even if you didn't go to art school, even if your advices might not be the best, you're just offering people what you know. You're just offering people like whatever that you might know. You're just offering them your experience and your advice. That's why I actually did end up making a, you know, a tutorial. But maybe I'll talk about that in the future. Maybe I'll make an eye tutorial, I don't know. I hate drawing shoes for real. I get you, like, I freaking hate drawing shoes as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. I really like how you do eyes though. I have such a hard time choosing good colors for lashes for some reason. Oh, maybe I can assist you in this color choosing problem then. I actually did talk about colors just a while ago in my stream. Maybe you can watch the replay or I'll talk or just wait for my new video to be out. But when I think about eyes for the colors, especially the lashes, I'm pretty sure you might be talking about the lashes. The start and the end of the lash, I always go with a orange color. So this is a better representation. So because there's a thing I do with my line art, I don't actually do line art. I just clean up my sketch and then just color it straight away. So a thing you might notice in my sketches is that they're actually a little bit red, a little saturated here and there. You see, like there's some saturated parts, like this, and also like here. See, there's like saturated lines. That's just something I do because I think it makes like the color pop. If you get what I mean. So by the same logic, I do this because I want the colors to pop. So I add some red in the intersection points or orange, which could also work. So by the same logic, I do that to the eyes as well. I just use like something close to skin color. Apply on like the start and the end of the lashes. And then in the middle of the lashes, I just use whatever that's in the iris and then blend it together. Done. Less than 5 seconds. the ultimate colors for lashes done in less than 5 seconds. And then you can just like, use tone curve. And then, like get the color down a little bit. Or just edit it a little bit, make it a little darker. Less than a minute. That's done. Very simple. And then for the eyes, I usually, for the base color, I do this first. Oh, the eyes are gonna be blue, so let me do blue. And then I actually do this. Give some little color in the middle. Look, the skin color in here, right? I just pick the skin color, put it in here, and the color pick this color in the middle. Maybe this. And then use the skin color again. And then blend it in for the bottom part of the eye. For the top part, how I do it is the same color, make it a little less saturated. Something like this. Then blend it in again. And then maybe that's the iris. And then use a saturated color this time. Maybe something like this. Put it in the middle. Maybe somewhere in here, so. And then maybe some, shadings in here. Maybe there's a diamond in here. And then in the bottom of the eye, use the same skin color again, make it a little brighter. Do this. Maybe a little bit in here, so. And then if there is a secondary color, I would just use the maybe something like pink. Let's say there's a secondary color in your artwork. Then maybe I'll put a little bit in here. And then maybe a little bit like edge with the skin color again. That's quite literally how I draw eyes. Done. Less than a minute. Or 2. That's how I draw eyes. Pretty similar, right? Pretty similar. That's how I do it. Of course it has a little difference every time, so that's why it looks a little different. And then a pretty important thing as well. I would just use like this, maybe some color like this, and just put it in the middle of the lashes. Done. How to draw eyes tutorial in less than a minute. That's how I draw eyes. Pretty simple, right? So pretty consistent. Yep, that's how it drives. How to start commissions though? There's a platform called VGen, but I don't really recommend it because it has 5% transaction fee, and then if you use PayPal or Stripe, which is the requirement, there will be an international charge if you're not in United States of like 3%, and then another like Stripe slash PayPal transaction fee of 3%. So you actually end up with maybe like 15% service fee when you add it up. So you lose 15% of your money because of all the transaction handling fees shit. My suggestion is to actually take commissions in private. Like have someone DM you, tell them to like send their money through like, I don't know, bank or whatever application you use in your country. That will work out pretty well. For me, I use VGen if my client is from outside of Hong Kong or Australia. If my client is in Hong Kong or Australia, I tell them to use bank transfer or like Alipay from Hong Kong, because that avoids all the transaction fees. That means I don't lose like 10% for no reason. And if you're doing like a pretty big commission, like a big commission, you are losing like, I don't know, like $20, which is pretty big. I've lost like my biggest commission that I lost money because of the transaction fee. I lost like $40 because the commission was about like 400 or like $500. So I lost like $40 because of the stupid transaction fees. That was my call. I just never use like platforms like that anymore, except when I have to like have someone pay me via like out of the countries, and maybe in the States, maybe in like somewhere else, and I have to use VGen. Actual highway robbery. If VGen wants to charge you 5%, I can understand it, because like I'm pretty sure like, let's say YouTube, I think they charge you like 30% of your income. I think Twitch charges you like 10 or 20% or something. And then a lot of like applications, they charge you like 10, 5, 2%. I think 5% is pretty reasonable. Like platforms usually charge you 5% if they're like a good platform. If they're not, like if they're evil company like YouTube, I hope I don't get banned for saying this, they charge you like 30% or something. But PayPal and Stripe, god damn it, like they charge you like 3% for like transaction fee, and then another 3 or like 5% for international transaction fee. So you already lose like 8 or 10% because you use PayPal or Stripe, which is a requirement for most commission sites. Like just transfer to my bank, man. How to use VGen though? Oh, one thing I hate about VGen is that in VGen, the normal method you would get an entry into it is to literally repost their story and comment under their post to get into a lottery, which you would have a 50% chance of getting in. So how they run it is that like every Monday or Tuesday they post like a VGen join post, and then you have to comment it, repost it, and then like share it to your story. And then for every share there is, for every 2 entries there is, they will have 1 spot. So basically, you have a 50% chance of getting in VGen by this method, which means that you can just spell over again, and there's a pretty good chance that you might not get in after like 4 weeks. Even if you participate every week, there's a chance you don't get in after like 10 months, because it's like 50 chance. The other way to get in is to win their like art competition and then get like an entry quote. That's also a way. The other way is have a verified artist to give you a code, which I'm not, because I can't say why I'm not. I think they want it to be kept secret, but there's a entry requirement to be a verified artist, and it's nothing. Actually, you might expect it, but then it's actually not link to how good your art is. It's nothing to do with if your art is good or not. It has something to do with yeah, I can't say it. I'm pretty sure they don't want it leaked. So, are there any other ways or apps? Yeah, Instagram, Twitter. Like post your art there. Get people to commission you. As Instagram and Twitter, you need to get a big following for someone to like actually find you to commission you. Or you can just also like post your stuff on maybe like a Facebook page, maybe like some local online shopping platform if it works. Yeah. It also works, I'd say. Alright, let me actually draw the outfit now. Finally doing something productive. I know it's only like 2:31 p.m. but you're tired as hell. Yeah, don't you have like a holiday today? Dude, if I ever had a 1-day holiday, I would make sure that I like use the 24 hours in the holiday to do whatever I want to do, because the next day I'm gonna go to college again. But you know, sleep is not like a good option. You know, I have a weird relationship with sleeping. I talked to my therapist about this, and my therapist is like reasonably a little concerned. My therapist asked me like, what time do you sleep? And I was like 2, sometimes 4 a.m. Sometimes 6 a.m. And then sometimes like, you know, if I feel tired, then maybe like 12 p.m. or 11 p.m. And then she was like, wait, why don't you sleep earlier? It's better for your health. I was like, yeah, I know it's better for my health, but the sleeping is wasting my time. My therapist is reasonably concerned. I think my therapist needs another therapist. Can you tell us about this commission? Yeah, actually, yes. So the characters in it is my commissioner's OC, and they're both like zombie themed, and they want a cake in the middle, something like a birthday cake, and it's gonna be Halloween themed. So this is actually just in season. That's amazing. It's really, really cute. I love their OCs. It's really cute. By the way, are you gonna be celebrating Mid-Autumn Festival there? Wait, when? Oh, shit. Okay, as a Cantonese, I am ashamed to say that I don't know when the Mid-Autumn Festival is. Let me search it up. When is 中秋节? 中秋节. Yes. How do I type it? Oh fuck. Wait, where's my keyboard? Why is my Chinese keyboard? 中秋节. 中秋节. Oh shit, it's 6th of October. Yes. What? Is it like I have any way to celebrate it? I'm in Australia, dude. Is it a thing in Australia? Maybe if I go to Chinatown, then maybe they will celebrate it. Better get mooncake stocking. Oh, I want to. You know, I really miss 冰皮月饼. 冰皮月饼. 月饼. I really miss it. I really want to eat 冰皮月饼. It's so good. It's like ice cream mooncake, and then they have like jelly or like crystal like chewy skin, and it's like so good. I really want it, but I don't know if they sell it here in Australia. I gotta find it in like some markets, especially since I live in like a small city. I don't think they sell it here. But yeah, damn. Dude, I actually kind of want to celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival because like there's some, every year in my family, when there's Mid-Autumn Festival or any festival, I go to my mom's side of family to celebrate it. So like my grandparents, we have hot pots, and then maybe we have like really good meals. We have like big feasts for festivals, for Chinese festivals. So actually, yeah, I kind of want to celebrate it, but then does it look like I can celebrate it today? I mean, in here, no. It's not like I'm rich enough to buy anything for hot pot anyways, and I don't have a pot. I mean, I do have a pot, but then it's like on the stove. Maybe I'll look at. Wait, actually, I am in like a local Hong Kongers group in my city. Let me see if they have like celebrations going on. Chocolate or vanilla? Vanilla. I'm a vanilla fan. I really like it. I know it's basic, but the vanilla is so fucking good. It's really, really good. Is there any like... what? Is there not a festival even in like the Hong Kongers group? No, that's crazy. They have like celebrations for everything, dude. Damn it. They're probably celebrating with their family. That sucks. I mean, good for them. Bad for me. I'm living alone. What do you want me to do, dude? I'm celebrating nothing. Damn it. I want to celebrate as well. Let me look at the costume. Actually, the costume is so cute. You know what? Instead of celebrating Mid-Autumn Festival, let me just like celebrate Oktoberfest instead. A German festival. I'm not German. Imagine seeing like an Asian, like a Chinese, Cantonese Asian go to like Oktoberfest. That's gonna be like culture shock. Let me just go to the Oktoberfest and maybe get kicked out just for that funsies. Would they kick me out? I don't know. Is it like for Germans or is it like open? I don't know. I only know that Oktoberfest is like a German thing. Not sure if they would kick me out. How do I draw the anatomy here because it's gonna be like covered by the cake anyways, but just put it here. How do I draw expressions? I'm actually really bad for expressions, so this is one that I really cannot answer you, unfortunately, even though like because like all the expressions I draw. Oh, hello Berry Bell, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Anyways, all the expressions I draw, they're rather like stoic, or just like oh no, that's not stoic. It's static. Yes, static. So it's not like very expressionful, like not plenty of like expressions. It's just like closed eyes, maybe smiling face, maybe like an elegant presentation, maybe like you know, something like this, right? Closed eyes, and then something like this. Like a commanding move. I love your art, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have tutorials up on my YouTube if you're not subscribed. So you can take a look at it. And then something like this, you know, like a cute, just hello face, just like my persona right now. You see my avatar at the top, bottom right corner. It's just like this. It's some very basic expression. But my advice with expressions is to work with the eyebrow, because eyebrows and mouth, I think they're what makes an expression, like very identifiable. So let's say if Lizzie, hello there, hello Lizzie. Welcome to the stream. Your art is nice. Thank you so much. You can't do any expressions. I guess your characters have same face syndrome. Actually, I have same face syndrome as well. But my personal opinion, hot take. Again, I'm not a professional artist, but my personal hot take is that why is same face syndrome bad? Because if you have same face syndrome, that quite literally means that you're consistent with your art style. If your face looks different, like very different, then that's the problem. That means you don't have a consistent art style. That means you don't have a consistent shape. And that means that every time you draw, it's a little bit over the place. So in my opinion, very humble opinion, same face syndrome isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. It shows that your art is consistent. It shows that your faces look alike because it's your art style. If you look at even if you look at like big companies, Honkai Star, Hoyoverse, their games, Wuthering Waves, their games, every single character, the face kind of looks the same. Like maybe it's just a little bit like spikier, maybe the jaw is like a little longer, maybe the eyes are a little like smaller. But then at the end of the day, it has the same face syndrome. That's because they have an art style. That's because like that's it. That's why they have same face syndrome, because they're good at their art style. I think, to me, that's how I see same face syndrome. Anyways, the expression thing. Work with the eyebrows, because let's say, right, if let's say I erase this eyebrow, right? And then I replace it with nah, let me do it more expressively. I replace the frown with a what do I call this? Just relaxed eyebrow. And then I replace the mouth with a little look at how big the difference is. So when you draw expressions, go with like, think about the eyebrows and the mouth first, because see the difference. The eyes literally did not change. It's just the eyebrows and the mouth. Even if I were not to change the mouth. See? Now it looks like a damsel in distress. Now it looks like the imperator, like a tyrant. Now it looks like a damsel in distress again. So the eyebrow is the soul. And then of course the mouth also matters a lot. Just that I think start with the eyebrows first, because if the eyebrow is frowning or the eyebrow is relaxed, it changes a lot. Look, this eyebrow is relaxed combined with the happy mouth, just like a regular mouth. It looks so much different from this, right? Do you use references? Yes, I do. I do a lot actually. So usually I look on Pinterest, or I just look at like character references. So like if I'm drawing Saridra, I look at their official splash art. That's how I get the idea what I want to draw. Maybe I looked at her her holding her what is this? The scepter, I think. It's probably called scepter. Then that's where I get the idea from. How to find it though? Wait, do you mean like references? Alright, sorry, I really have a bad memory. Forgive my ADHD. I remember there was a time when I was in 4th grade, I used detail to make my OC's faces pointy as fuck, blonde, no nose, and non-existent eyebrows, and the eyes too big for the head. Just found all of those old drawings. Like that kind of sounds like old style anime art. That's actually pretty cute, you know? In 4th grade, you already draw. That's like already better than me. I started to draw in like 5th, 6th grade, and then I started to lock in digital art in 10th grade. No, 9th grade probably. Yeah, I'm now a year 1 student. Yeah. You struggle with poses? Pinterest is your answer. Try to copy like the body references first. And I think copying references is okay. As long as you're not tracing them, then you don't have to like actually like credit them every time in your post. Just make it a little different, add in your own elements. That's how you do it. Prototype, you're gonna head out, see y'all. Alright, enjoy your sleep. Hello! Oh, Kanade and Lemonade. Oh, who here thought the Kanade and Project Sekai actually drinks lemonade? Not gonna lie, I feel like Kanade would drink lemonade. I'm not that into lore though, so I don't know. Maybe she actually drinks it. The other way to practice with poses is to pose yourself, take a picture of yourself, draw it. If you want to trace art, it's actually completely fine. Just that when you trace, don't post it on the internet. And if you do, credit them 100%. Credit the original artist, tell people that you have traced their artwork as a practice. But my advice, if you trace, do not post it on the internet unless your title says trace practice and then put their reference in like this second page. Tracing is a good way to practice because it lets you like grasp the object size and then lets you practice muscle memory as well, which is good. My art teachers wants you to make realistic art in 4 days. That too on giant canvases. How do you finish on time? You can. Wait, actually, let me show you something. When you say canvases, I imagine you're probably talking about like acrylic artworks, which even though I just said I didn't go to art school ever, yeah, I still didn't. I did do art as a subject as a main subject in my high school. It's like one of my 3 main subjects. Because I went to a public school, so it's not like I'm a rich kid, so I didn't go to private school. Let me show you my acrylic artworks. I learned it as a kid in hobby classes and just a second. You can actually finish it quick. It's just the same concept. Go with the base colors first and then just stack the shadows on top. Acrylic will be your best companion. In short times like this, you gotta whip out the acrylics. It's gonna be your best companion. Let me show you it. Just give me a second. Where is it? Image. Ooh, just right. This is it. That's my acrylic art. Oh. That's the acrylic artworks. It's a giant canvas as well. It's about 120 centimeters tall. I made the well, it's just a blank canvas, and then I made the edges. Just some art and crafts. How do you shade so good? My shading right now is alright, but I like the way the art looks. My art looks more boring in a way. I don't know how to explain it. Okay. Lizzie, you're actually in good hands. Not really. I'm releasing a coloring tutorial, hopefully. No guarantees because I also have a life. I'm a college student. Hopefully within this week. I'm about halfway done editing it. Actually, 1/3. But I'm releasing it, so I will explain that more organized in my video. It will be more clear and more detailed. But my response would be, you see how I make my shadings less boring? If your shading is okay, here's what I imagine when you say your shading is boring. Here's what I think you might be doing. No offense, okay? It's just what I think you might be doing. Okay, does it happen that your shadings look like this? Because this is a very common thing. Does it happen that your shadings look like this? Is that what you're doing? Just tell me if it's like what you're doing. Is this your shading? Is this what you mean when you say you think your shadings look boring? You just do like dark colored shading, lower opacity, black, but kinda yeah. Okay, so I would imagine what you're doing is actually more like this. Something like this. I'd imagine what you're doing. So the answer is, when you think about shading, think about, oh god damn it, it's the same fucking sphere again. Let me pull up that one picture again. I've used this picture like 5 times in my streams. Okay, so when you look at the shading, you're correct on doing black and white. Because when you look at this sphere, which I drew previously as my college homework, there is a black plane and there's a white plane, right? So you are right on black and white. Sorry, my fucking laptop is lagging. Okay, so that's the black and white. You're right on that. But beyond that, there's also nuance to it. So what I mean is there's bounce light. This is some more advanced stuff. There's bounce light on here. Oops. So if I hide this layer, you will know what I mean. This is the bounce light, you see? And then there might also be some gradient when it comes to the intersection points. So that's 1. That's 2. Wait, I'll do it this way. That's your step 1. This is your step 2. It's the bounce light and the cross shades that happen. See? Do you like Honkai on Genshin more? Oh shit, I'm gonna get fired for this. I'm gonna get flamed for this. I actually prefer Genshin. Look, I'm not a lore skipper. I read the lore. I read the books. I read theories about it. You use Ibis Paint as... I'll tell you about it though later. Just let me answer this first. I use Ibis Paint as my art app usually, the free plan. Yeah, don't worry. I used to use Ibis Paint as well. But beyond that, that's your first and second step, right? The first step is to identify the shade and the light. The second step is to find out the bounce light and the cross-section gradient slash shading, right? The third step, that's the huge part where I think you might not have got it. That's why you think your shading looks bad. It's because the third step is to do this. Between the light and dark, there's actually a very saturated line. You see, if I pull up character illustrations, let me see if I could find a good reference. It would be better if I can find like a game model, because that would be a really good reference to explain. Okay, I cannot seem to find it, but you know how if you play RPG games, then you might have noticed that like characters, they have like that weird like orange line in between the part, like the lights and the shadows, right? So ever tried Ibis? Yeah, everyone started on Ibis. I started with like finger and Ibis Paint as well. You know this line? In every RPG game, Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, they have this weird line between the light and dark, right? That's because this line is actually very important. So this is the line I'm talking about. This one line. So in between the shadows, is there a good example like this? Okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's this line. This is the most saturated part of your drawing, like the light and dark. This is the intersection between the light and dark. That's the saturated line. You need to do this to make it more like have a better contrast and also make it like colorful. That's your fourth or third step. That's your first step. Oh, hello, Opal Peters. Hello. Okay, that's the first step. Your fourth step is to add some colors to the shading. So let's say your sphere is some pink, right? What if instead of only shading in pink, you also added some yellow? You also added some blue that is close to the base color. So it's barely noticeable, but it's still there. What if, let's say, okay, let me try to demonstrate it. Ah, fuck, my laptop is lagging again. Anyways, wait, let me see. So what if you, let me see. Oops. Let me replace this first. What if, for your shading, you also use some different colors, like magenta? What if you used purple? See? It gives us so much more variety. It makes it so that it's not only that one color. You see what's happening? So, when you pick colors to shade with, you might look at the color wheel. You see my color wheel? If your hair is blue, well then maybe you would do the base with blue, right? So naturally, when you think about shading, you just drag this color wheel down there. So you pick a darker blue, you shade with a darker blue. That's what you do. Maybe. I don't know if it's your case. I guess it's what you mean when you say you shade with a black color. That's because you're staying on your hue. You're just dragging among the same plane. But instead, if you use a different hue, so you drag it somewhere, maybe a similar color, maybe purple, you shade with that color. Shade a little bit with that color. Maybe you have a little bit of like aqua color. See? Now it's more like it has more color variety. It makes it less boring. That's the same concept that I would put in my artwork. That's the same concept. Like if I drag the same sphere again. Look at this. See? If you replace the 1 with white, the 2 with blue, the 3 with cyan turquoise color, the dark part with this color, and the bounce light with this skin color or like the white color. That's literally what I do in the hair. And that applies to the outfit as well. You see in here? It's not only blue, there's green in it, there's yellow in it, there's magenta to it, there's even orange in it. There's some little bit like purplish colors in it. That's what I do. That's what makes it not boring. Is black a color or a shade? It's a color and a shade. Well, any color can be a shade, honestly. So basically just add a bunch of colors to give it personality and no black. Nah, it's not that you cannot add black because that's a little bit of black as well. It's just that it's not purely black. It's like a bluish color. See? It's not black. But you're kind of right on giving it a lot of colors. But what colors you choose also has its own rules. So you remember how I said like add different colors, right? this is the base color is a little bit of pink red, right? So what I choose is something similar to it. Magenta. Magenta is similar to red, you see? There's only a little bit of difference. And then this purple is also on this side. See? If you want to use something very different, like how I used blue on the white, then you keep it similar to the value. Yeah, it is very different from pink, right? But then it's because even if it's at the other side of the color wheel, I made the brightness so similar to white so that it blends in well. So you also have to think about like if the color blends in well, if it's similar to the color or not. Hello, Mint. Y'all use Ibis? I use the notes. That's so fucking based. Favorite Project Sekai character? It's probably Mizuki. Probably Mizuki. I really like him. I think he has a very interesting story, like considering it's Project Sekai. Because Project Sekai is not like it is an imaginary scenario, it is a fantasy because come on, Miku is in it, but then it's pretty like close to real life, right? So in a situation like this, I think Mizuki has a pretty interesting backstory and personality. He represents like struggles of inner world, something similar to Mahuyu, that a lot of teenagers might experience. So that's what makes things Mizuki very interesting. So he's probably my favorite character. You get it now? Oh, that's nice. I'm glad to have helped you. I'm so glad to help people. You're a dumb ADHD, but we'll remember this. No worries, I have ADHD as well. You always make my color palette a nice grayish of different colors because it gives them a good lighting when I add it. Or is this just me? You are actually right. If you say like you said that you use grayish colors, right? So what I imagine is probably like gray. This what's this lighting? Gray. And then you see, you love Mizuki as well? Silly? Yeah, he is. I really like him. Or she. Yeah, sorry. Wrong pronouns. I forgot about that, you know. Sorry, haven't played it so long. Yeah, she's very interesting. Really like her. When you say a different part of gray, I imagine something like this. Is this what you do? This is very interesting, I like it. This is a good practice. It's practicing like adding some different colors in the base, which is a really good practice. God damn it, how does my roommate live with a heater? It's like 26 degrees right now. How does you live on a heater? Jesus Christ, it's so hot. Can you just like, turn it on with like AC mode, dude? Sorry, you use Ibis Paint, but you can only for 1 hour? Wait, what? Is this a thing right now in Ibis Paint? That's crazy. I take back whatever I said for Ibis Paint. That's kind of shitty. Damn, that sucks. That kind of sucks. Because back in my days, 8 years ago, Ibis Paint was just free. Well, if you want to draw past the time, what drawing app would you recommend? If you're talking about free apps, I'm assuming that you probably don't have the budget for non-free apps. A good option if you're on computer is probably Krita. I've never really used Krita myself, but a lot of my community told me that it's pretty good. And Medibank Paint is also good. I'm pretty sure Medibank Paint is also available in tablets on phone, so you can use it as well. If you have low budget but you can pay, then you can use Procreate. Yeah. What? Oh, there's an application called Medibank Paint. So it's spelled MEDIBANG and just paint. That one's pretty good. I'm not sure if it's good anymore, but that's what I used a lot of years ago when I had like a gifted tablet, and I just used it for like doodles. I used that application because like back then my parents wouldn't let me buy digital art applications. Anything free is good enough, you know. So my parents wouldn't let me use it. And now that I can actually buy art applications, I'm just using CSP. Photoshop is a good option as well, but then who the hell can afford a subscription service in this economy? You would be insane for paying Photoshop. That shit's crazy. Like, that is so expensive. You're crazy for paying them. Photoshop really is like ripping us off right now. It's crazy. What do you reckon would be the best? If you have low budget, if you have a little bit of budget, then it will be Procreate. If you have no budget, just free, then Medibang Paint. If you have a little bit more money, let's say you have like $40 or like $50, $60, then CSP. CSP will stick to you for years. That's gonna stick to you for years. Let me tell you, I've been using it since like last year, and it's really, really good. Like, when I use Procreate, I feel like, it's like, okay, it's mid, but it's not like I have any other apps to use anyways because I'm on like a iPad. But then if you use CSP, it will stick to you for very long. Because I think, this is my personal opinion as a design student, Photoshop is an application, is an editing software that happens to have some drawing functions. And CSP, Clip Studio Paint, is a drawing software which happens to have some editing, what was that? Yeah. Some editing functions. That's how I would describe like the Procreate versus the CSP versus Photoshop problem. I always do this shit. Like, I always enlarge the head too much. Okay. I think you stick with Ibis Paint? If you're okay with like the 1 hour restriction, I think that's pretty shitty. Like, why would they do this? What's wrong with them? I thought Ibis Paint was a pretty goated company, you know? Because as a kid, I always used it. So I thought they were pretty goated. I didn't know they were actually still like... They're now like, you know, ripping everyone off. You love using it on my phone? Yeah, I do as well. But when I use Ibis Paint on my phone, I just use it for like simple editing. Just like adding some frames and nothing special. Like, not actually art. If I were to use art, I would just go on my laptop. You're so broke, all you got is Ibis Paint and you've been using it for 3 or 4 years. My hot tip, not really, because I think any other artist will tell you this, is that you don't need a better software. You don't need it. You want it, but you don't need it. Because let me tell you, I've been drawing digitally. If you count like playing around as auto drawing digitally, then I have been drawing it since like since like 5th grade. Here's the thing. I've been playing around with digital softwares since 5th grade, and what I started was a fucking finger and Ibis Paint. Because as a kid, I didn't even know Apple Pens were a thing. When was the Apple Pen invented, dude? When was it invented? Apple Pencil invent date. When was it invented? Where is it? 2015. So it was 10 years ago. That actually lines up pretty well. So 10 years ago, I was a like 2nd or 3rd grade student, I think. Yeah. So as a kid, I didn't even know there was Apple Pen because it simply just existed for like 1 year. So basically, it didn't even exist yet. So I was just working with my hand, like finger, and then those kind of like crappy like tablet pencils. But I just ended up using my thumb. And then I've been using Ibis Paint for like years actually, until 2019, I think. 2019, which is like, oh, 2020, was it 2019? Let me check. When was my first time using an Apple Pencil? Which is on Procreate. Let me see. That was, wait, where's that one? 2021. I started using an Apple Pencil since 2021, and I switched to Procreate in 2021, which was actually 4 years ago. So you see, like, I've been using Ibis Paint for like 3 or 4 years as well. Even 5 actually, if my math is mathing. If my math is mathing, then maybe like 4 years. I don't know. So you don't need a better software. You can still work with it. Because like I think 3, 4, 5 years is actually a really good time to practice your basics in digital art. So for the 3, 4, 5 years of your life, you would be practicing with simple objects, simple artwork, simple shading, simple lightings, just like airbrushes, everything. That's the phase when you like start to get to know digital art. And after 5 years, you would actually be in the like intermediate level. You'll be starting to look into better shading, better colors, better brushes, better precision, better lasso tools. That's when you actually need a better software. So for the first 3 to 5 years of your digital art life, Ibis Paint is really good enough. Unless they actually do have like that one hour shit. That is actually like that's diabolical, dude. That is diabolical. I guess you would use Paint 3D when your time on Ibis Paint runs out. Yeah, you could. Proud to say you love drawing with my fingers since the pen sucks at times. Yeah, but here comes the but. You can draw with your fingers, of course. I've been drawing my fingers for like a lot of years, but when you actually want to improve in digital art, your best solution would be with a pen. Because that means you're at least using like a pencil-shaped thing to draw. If you use the fingers to draw too much, even though I don't know if it's true or not, because I've never seen anyone talk about it, but my guess is that you probably struggle to draw on paper because you've been grown so attached to drawing with fingers. So your art skills with fingers doesn't translate with a pen. But if you use a pen, then you can draw on both traditionally and digitally. Because you're, at the end of the day, using the pen again. That's the difference. Using a pen helps you a lot because you're likely to be able to draw traditionally. But then you might struggle with digital art because it's a little different, and having a pen helps you a lot. That's what I think. Your sister said she watches you all the time. Wait, really? Like as in YouTube? That's kind of crazy. How does your sister even know about me? YouTube or Instagram? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someone knows me on Instagram, but like on YouTube, that's kind of crazy. Wow. That's so nice. Say hi to your sister. Alright. Yeah. That's my opinion on like finger drawing. It's good, but then you want to use a pen. Just grab like some cheap pen and like, I don't know, some thrift store. Just some cheap pencils and then you'll be fine. You don't need an Apple Pencil. Now there's like so many cheaper alternatives with like instead of like Apple Pencil. She said that she knows how to draw better because of you. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. You know, I'm like dedicated to creating like shorter form content because like I know my generation, I'm Gen Z as well. All of us has that attention span. And I think my way of explaining compared to other like big art channels is that I explain every topic in what I think I would do, which is actually relatable to a lot of people because I never went to art school, so I think people would probably struggle with trying to understand terms of like, oh, let's start with this blah 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 blah, and then this specific scientific art term. I don't do that shit because I've never been to art school too. So I think my guides are probably very like peasant friendly because I am a peasant as well. Like who look in this economy, who would go to an art school? Like a lot. But if you're someone who has a family and your family cannot provide you money to go to art school, because like okay, your family could probably afford your tuition, depends on what your family is doing. But if you're doing like art, you probably want to do the design or architecture just because of the economics. It's very hard to find a fine art job. It's easier to find a design job. That's why I'm doing design anyways. So I never been to art school. That's kind of it. Like, I don't think many kids like us would have ever went to like a professional art school as a kid or even as like a teenager. That's because that's how the world works. Most people don't go to art school. But then I don't think that not going to art school and not knowing those specific terms, those specific like, oh, you have a very, very strong foundation, you need this, you need that, you need this equipment, you need that like foundation shit, blah 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 blah, it's draw well. No, I don't think so. Because it has been proven that I can draw even if I didn't go to like professional art schools, even if I went to public education, free education, right? So the way I explain things is something that I think everybody can understand instead of using like complicating terms or overcomplicating things and explaining that in like professional terms. Because like it's 2025, a lot of people want to learn art, but they don't know how to like look into it. They don't know very specific like terms. So how I explain it is to explain it to like anyone else like me who's never been to art school. That's how I do it. You remember about a month ago you were drawing in your sketchbook so you can have a break off my phone. Then you try zooming in on your drawing. I have a shortcut keyboard at my side, so I have like a specific key for like Control Z. And every time I draw on paper, I will always like, and like I didn't realize that I'm drawing on paper. I get you. That's so relatable. I get your energy. And in terms of drawing faces, especially on angles, yes. Let me pull up Pinterest again. Faces is something that I really think is practice makes perfect. Because okay, practice doesn't make perfect. I need to reiterate that. I completely disagree with the saying because god damn it, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes improvement. Who told you that practice makes perfect? That is so wrong. I'm sorry, as a Gen Z teenager, I have to tell you, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes improvement, dude. How you make perfect is impossible. Nobody's perfect. But back to that. Okay, this is actually perfect. So, not too sure who the artist is, but for the sake of explaining. Okay, so how you draw better face angles? Get a picture or on Pinterest or a 3D model. And then, okay, this is for the sake of explaining. I am not trying to trace anything for like commercial purposes or like trying to impersonate the artist, okay? This is just for explaining how you could practice drawing heads. So, find out the guidelines. So for example, the guidelines is here. The eye is here, the middle section is here, that's the head. And then that's the eyes location. So find out where it is. That's the nose, that's the mouth, and that may be the jaw. And then find out that like as a head, when you raise your head, your ears become a little downer. So copy it. When you copy it, oops, I drew on the wrong layer, damn it. But basically, copy the face positions as a practice, okay, as a practice. Find out the guidelines. See how everything works. That's the eyes. Again, that's maybe the jaw. That's the mouth. That's the eyes. So over and over, you get to practice with the heads. That's the first method, which is tracing, but do not post it on internet and do not claim it as your own artwork. The other method, which I usually do, is to, oh, this is actually perfect. Find a picture and then reference it. So maybe you wanna like do something like that, and then you try to copy it without tracing. Oops. So practice over and over again with references. References is very important, especially when I think about like when it comes to your faces, because that's your first step. So practice it over and over again. Try drawing faces, blah blah blah. The absolute heartbreak you feel when you can't draw your favorite character, I get to. That is horrible. And then when you get good at it, like when you have the muscle memory, you can just freehand the head. And then you probably will enter a phase what I call floating head syndrome. Just like only drawing heads without the body. You want to prevent that as well. Like, the best advice I'll give you in art is to force yourself to draw whatever you're not good at. If you're bad at drawing feet, draw feet. If you're bad at drawing hands, draw hands. If you're bad at drawing heads, draw heads. If you're bad at drawing whole body anatomy, draw full body drawings, even though everyone else would say, oh my gosh, it's so shit. Yes, it's gonna be shit. But the more you practice it, the more it gets better. I got from this to this. So that's a pretty big improvement. I got from this to this. So you get better every time. Yep. That's the real advice. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes improvement. So don't think that practice makes perfect. That's the wrongest saying every time. Like, of all time. That's the worst saying of all time. I completely disagree with it. But you know, it's a good saying. Just some motivation, you know. What do I practice first in art? You don't have any experience? As I mentioned, I think you should practice with drawing shapes. Because when you practice drawing in shapes, you would gain the ability to break down real-life objects into different shapes. So, let's say you practice shapes a lot, right? You might have practiced drawing a trapezium, you might have practiced drawing an oval or a circle. So now when you see a vase, you now know that a vase is actually a circle, another trapezium, and then another trapezium on top. And then you connect it together. and then clean it up a bit. And then some flowers on top. And then maybe another ear. That's your base. It's quite literally an oval, 2 trapeziums. That's the base. That's why it's so important to practice of drawing basic shapes, because everything is basic shape. Everything is started from basic shapes. That's what I would say. Something's wrong with your art tablet. The screen is glitching and it kept going back to normal. It's the only way you can draw on a computer? What does that mean? Like, the screen is glitching. So you're using a display tablet, right? Check like your display settings probably. Maybe it has something to do like how many years have you owned your display tablet? Because like tablets have to be replaced every few years, I think, as far as I'm concerned, but I'm not too sure. Yes, you think? I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about tech stuff. You probably need to ask customer support for that. Or maybe Google your specific issue. I can't answer that. I'm like a aspiring artist. I'm not familiar with tech stuff. Maybe a year actually? Actually, if it's like not even a year, you probably have a warranty. If you bought something from like, let's say XP Pen, Huion, or Wacom, there's probably a year warranty or like 18 months. So check if you have the warranty, send it back to them, maybe. After shapes, do you practice faces or shading? Shading. Because if you want to draw anime art, you should probably start with the basics, which is the objects, shadings, and real-life artworks. That's what we call like copying something from a real-life object. If you see a face, draw a face, practice with the shadings. Hello, Apple! Hello, Lucky Apple, how are you? How are you doing? Good, and you? I'm pretty good. I'm doing great actually. I'm having a holiday, so it's going pretty good. Your parents got it for your sister? Oh, you probably have to ask your sister for it then. But again, I think your best option would be to Google it, because I'm not a tech support. I don't know about tech stuff. But it probably has something to do with like the display monitor of your tablet. Hello, Pumpkin! Oh, Ellipsed Pumpkin. That's a pretty cool name. Eclipsed Pumpkin, or however I pronounce it. That's pretty cool. Guess who's back? Hello, welcome back, Belle. Hello, welcome back. Check it tomorrow? Yeah, sure. Oh, guys, what kind of videos do you want me to make? Like, what videos idea do you guys want me to do? It could be tutorial, it could be reviews, it could be even games. I would do it. Just give me some ideas. Thinking what I should do afterwards, after like my coloring video. Can you play Hollow Knight? Yes, but I need my new laptop first. My current laptop probably will not be able to run it, unfortunately. It costs $20 though. I guess it's fine, $20. I can get it for my 18th birthday, you know? Hello! Oh, hello, Mr. Just a Guy with, what is it called? A clip. Yeah. Honestly, I would love for you to make gaming videos. I feel like it would be so fun as well, but I need my new laptop first for the gaming stuff. Maybe I'll live stream gaming, who knows? Maybe a shading tutorial or fan art video? I am releasing my coloring tutorial, which includes shading and rendering in this week. If I edit it in time. No promises. Because I edit so slowly. My current laptop is so bad that it can barely stream. So after the coloring, I'm not too sure what I should do. Maybe like a composition video? Maybe. But I'm not very good with composition, so I can't say on behalf. Maybe a hair video, like a video dedicated specifically to hair. Because I feel like, honestly, I draw hair, like hair is the one thing that I think I actually do draw pretty well. So I have the confidence to talk about hair. Hi Hina, I just came to drop by. I'm still at college. Oh, hello Jeech. What are you doing in art class, dude? What are you doing in art course? Why are you in my streams? Listen to your like art professor. He or she is probably like much more professional than me. But fan art video would be a good idea. Oh, you're just sitting in. Oh. It's okay, they're chilling? Ooh, nice. Bing chilling. Oh, damn. I actually want some bing chilling. I need some bing chilling. You know? You know it's not racist when I say it because I'm Chinese. Do not ban me. See, I'm not racist because if I'm Chinese, I can joke about the bing chilling joke. Hello, Char. Favorite food? Huh. But I love every single food. Every food is good. Sashimi, sushi, ice cream, Chinese fried rice, nasi goreng, siu mai, any dim sum, and then Maicing. Everything's so good. I can't take one. I love food. Hello Cole, how are you doing? Honestly, as a professional badminton player, you should have stayed in art school, bro. Like, any career is tiring as fuck. Honestly, sports career may sound worse than art school. I take back whatever I say about like art school being not a good option. I take it back. Maybe go to art school. Sports career sounds so tiring. You know, I never do sports. Can you eat raw pork? No. I'm pretty sure you would get like some disease or like salmonella from eating raw pork. Because I've heard the saying that like you can eat raw beef, but you can never eat raw pork or raw chicken because it's very dangerous to eat it. But I think Germans eat like raw pork. They have like a dish where they put like raw pork on like a sandwich or something, and then apparently it's pretty good. But as someone from the East, I feel like I would never be able to eat it because like I was just so scared that I would go to the hospital. But you know we have healthcare, so if I were American, I would never eat raw pork because I know I don't have healthcare. But seeing that I'm an Australian Hong Konger, maybe I would eat it because I have healthcare. That is foul. The germs are what makes it good. Really? Are you serious? Is that actually good? Like, I no. I cannot eat raw pork. That's pretty dangerous, probably. I don't know though. I mean, to be fair, us Asians, we eat raw fish as well, so you know what? Raw pork may not be that bad. Your Sans the skeleton? How yeah? I just went to Grillby's and you know I got some ketchups. Do you want some? You want some ketchups? Bro may be superhuman. Hey Sans. Ooh. Speaking of which, I should play the new Deltarune chapters, damn it. Didn't know you were that popular? Of course, they made a whole fucking font over you, you know? You ever heard of Comic Sans? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they made Comic Sans because Sans was so popular. That's how popular you are. They made a font called Comic Sans because you're Sans and then you became so famous and then so Toby Fox made that font into reality. Fan club, really? I don't know, I think your brother has a fan club, you know? You know your brother Papyrus? I think he has a fan club. The Papyrus fan club. Bones. Watch my magic blue bones attack. Sans, give me your honest opinion. What do you think about people doing genocide routes? Do you think it's tiring to like attack people? You know, defend your underground? Every time when I get to like the genocide ending and fight you again and then you know just defeat you because I've played it like 7 times. Actually, I should probably go back to Undertale because I've not fight Sans in so long that I probably should fight it again because it's so fun. I love the boss fight. Genocide route? Genocide? Never heard of that before. Oh, shit. Shit. Chat, we ended up in the wrong route. I think this Sans is like on the pacifist route. Oh, damn it. Oh, fuck. What do you think about, you know... What do you think about the phrase when people say like, birds are singing, flowers are blooming, on days like these, what does it happen? How many people have done this aforementioned genocide route? What does it have to do with my brother? Trust me, it has nothing to do with my brother. Like when they say about genocide route, I'm pretty sure that means the human came and befriended everyone, you know? And you can just like, it's gonna be okay. Your brother will have nothing to do with it. Trust me, your brother's gonna be so safe in this genocide route. Nothing's gonna happen. Oh, King Asgore says that a lot. You mean the guy who pees on the flowers? You know? Asgore pee on flower? That one file. No matter. Don't know about me though. Yeah, trust me. Your brother's gonna be fine. Trust me. Wait, if your name is Sans Undertale, does that mean there's a Sans Deltarune? Does that mean there's a Sans Deltarune instead of a Sans Undertale? That's kinda crazy. Where is the Sans Deltarune? I wanna see Sans Deltarune as well. Wait, no, that's actually not correct. Isn't like Sans like... You know how every character in Deltarune has like a XP of the Undertale character? A lot of them, right? So Undertale's Undyne became a police officer in Deltarune, something like that, right? But I'm pretty sure Sans is the only single character who never changed and they just transported by doors, you know? I am back. Hi, hello, bloody. You like jokes? because you got lost in a skeleton. Oh my gosh, it's Undertale all over again. Why are you giving me so much nostalgia? Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I miss it. Now Papyrus is in my chat as well. Oh damn it. Hello, the great Papyrus. Sans, enough with the puns. Hello Papyrus, how are you doing? How are you, Papyrus? How are you doing? Papyrus, what do you think about like blue attacks? Do you think they're cool? Hello, Spider Saturn. That's a close enough description. By the way, I tried your hair tutorial and it's awesome. Nice! Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I helped someone. That's amazing. So glad to have helped someone. Well, aren't two boneheads better than one? Yeah, I'd say so. Papyrus, what do you think about grill bees? One more pun and you'll be done. You know, like I like how Papyrus is also typing in like the Papyrus font when everything is like capital letter. That's pretty lore accurate. You guys are an amazing pair. Trumpet noises. Oh, I've always wondered in Undertale, right? They have trumpet noises, right? So is it like what track is it? Is it the dum 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 dum? Wait. Sans doesn't play trumpet. He plays the trombone. He doesn't play trumpet. I like the cookie that runs the kingdom. Do you like cookie that runs the kingdom? I don't know, but I like the impact that Genshin's. I like the impact that Genshin's. Don't know about you though. I like the impact that Genshin's. I am going to Star Rail. Wait, that sounds wrong. I like the Rail Star of Honkai. You know what I mean? I like Rail Star of Honkai. You were playing the trumpet and the trombone at the same time? Forgot to specify it though? Damn it. You know, Sans, I think the trombone is a pretty go-to instrument. I play the clarinet and the piano, so I think the trombone is pretty goated. Wait, chat, I feel like it would be so cool if one day I just started playing piano on stream. What if I like uploaded some piano videos? That would be kind of cool, not gonna lie. I just saw a video of yours a few days back, Cigar. Thank you so much. That's amazing. I'm glad that you saw the video. I hope it helped. I'm assuming that's probably the tutorial video, so piano please. What if I played Undertale on piano? That's gonna be pretty cool, not gonna lie. You know, I have a problem with like drawing right now because I'm streaming at the same time, right? So my laptop actually runs pretty slow. And I have a problem with drawing this commissioner's OC because their eyes is like not the normal eyes. It's a little hard to draw. They have like very special eye design. Piano's the way. The thing is, I knew someone who loved playing it. Same, I love to play the piano. Upgrade your RAM and debloat Windows. Trust 100%. Don't worry, my new laptop's on the way. But the shipping takes like 7 or 8 weeks. Why does it take like 7 or 8 weeks? Is it because I live in Australia? Dude, 7 or 8 weeks? I might as well go back to Hong Kong and buy a laptop in Hong Kong. That's kind of crazy. but they kind of lost their arms. Were they playing like Chopin? Okay, you're back from getting some food. Ooh, what do you get? What kind of food do you get? Now I want to get some food as well. I don't want to cook. I want to get some food. Even though I'm cooking anyway, it's not like I can afford eating out. So eating out is so expensive in this country. I don't know what's wrong with Australia's economy, but it's so expensive. By the way, what do you recommend to draw on? Recommend. And this is a sponsored advertisement. I recommend getting a XP Pen display tablet because it's very good. Yes sir. Okay, the real answer. Okay, I still recommend getting an XP Pen because like it's generally pretty good. And thank you so much for XP Pen for sending me their tablet. But the real answer. If you want to get something that is not a finger, then and I'm assuming you want like an iPad or something, I'd say a good starters is iPad. But here's the but. I think if you have a laptop, do not buy an iPad just to draw. Never do it because your laptop is more than enough. You can just get a cheap display tablet. You can just get a cheap art tablet. It will work. It works the same as an iPad. You don't need an iPad. Mobile plus finger is superior. Change my mind. I would like to change your mind as say artist who's drawn on mobile and finger. Yeah, but you know, I think it's good enough as well. As if you're a beginner or an intermediate artist, I think mobile and finger is good enough. Honestly, you don't need like anything better than that. But if you're already in the intermediate position or you're like semi-professional or professional, of course you're gonna need something better. My recommendation is just skip the iPad. You don't need an iPad. iPad is like buying an iPad for drawing is the biggest scam ever. Never do it. Never ever do it. You're stupid if you buy an iPad for drawing because I did it. as the younger teen, I bought a really cheap iPad, like a tablet for drawing. Do not do it. Just use a laptop. You can do it. Just use a computer or a laptop. That's better. Unless you don't have a laptop, then iPad is a pretty good option. But I'm assuming if you have a iPad, you probably already have a laptop, I think. What about computers? Yeah, computers. Well, computers is the same as laptop. It's the same system. Still, like, computer is really good. If you want to draw on the computer, look into art tablets. There are some like connectable tablets that you can use instead of just some cursor. Or if you want to up your game, if you're already familiar with art, your final destination would be using a display tablet. That's your ultimate destination, I'd say. Computers and laptops are not the same. To be fair, yeah, but I would say this in the context of a PC. So a computer system and a laptop system, basically, they run pretty similarly. That's why I would say like computers and laptops together. Because in my opinion, when you only think about art, then computers and laptops are pretty similar. If you're talking about like other stuff, like regular use, then yeah, they're different, completely different. You meant a non-display device? But to be honest, I don't know much about tech stuff, so feel free to correct me. I'm not like a professional in it. I don't know much about it. Non-display device. You can look into just regular tablets. There's like very cheap ones. So for example, I think the cheapest option would be Huion or UG. They have like mini tablets, and then I think their XP Pen's most cheapest option goes for like 35 Australian dollars, which is probably like 20 something US dollars, and that's pretty cheap, I think. Like as a device, like as a drawing device, is very cheap. Just buy the tablet OSU players used to play. That could work as well. Yeah, just buy the cheapest option. Any option will work. If you don't wanna get like a display tablet, just a regular tablet, then anyone, like anything will work. Even the cheapest shit will work. As long as there is pen pressure, then it will work. If there's no pen pressure, don't get it. But then if there is pen pressure, get it. The cheapest option. I really suck at drawing mail. I really cannot. I should probably practice more. Still drawing, huh? Yeah, because I've been answering a lot of questions on the way, so I'm still here. I don't know how to fix the face for like male characters. I'm really bad at drawing it. Like drawing them. Kind of improved on drawing art, but you kind of figured out how to draw the goddamn face. Same. I'm really bad at drawing faces. By the way, what other artists do you like? There actually is a whole list of them. I really like Matcha. Matcha is so golden. Matcha CH or AM on Twitter. They're amazing. They're from China, now in Japan. And then Torino Aqua from Japan as well. Their art is insanely good as well. But then other than that, I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, Saturn Illus on Twitter and Instagram. They're really, really, really good as well. Those are my favorite artists. There's of course more, but I can't think of any at the moment. Like, I can't recall any right now. I need some time to think about it. But that's my favorite artists. Probably Matcha, Antonio Aqua, Saturn, and you know, some of them. Actually, I feel like I did pretty well on the male face, considering I never draw males. Well, it's nice to catch a stream of yours after discovering you from your latest video. Thank you so much! I've got so many people who discovered me from the last video. It's amazing. Like, I'm so glad that it kind of worked out. I will continue making more tutorials and hope it helps everyone. Yeah. Face drawing tips. Again, Pinterest. Copy references as a practice. Or as a practice, don't publish it, but you can also trace faces as a practice, okay? That's how you do it, because it's kind of like muscle memory, I'd say. If you could redraw some old photos of your old drawing, would you? Yes, definitely. I will show you some of my older artworks, actually. Let me see. I'll try to find the pictures of it. which art piece would I redraw, right? There is actually some I want to. Ah, this is a pretty good one that I kind of want to redraw. Let me put it on screen. Where is it? Wait a second. Have you ever watched Coolin and Sam? No. I've seen Coolin and her short videos, but I'm pretty sure she got cancelled or something because like apparently she corrected others' artworks without permission, I think. But I don't really watch like shorts artists, like reels artists. I don't really watch them. I've never watched like much art tutorial channels. It's funny because I'm doing art tutorials, right? But I've never really watched art tutorials. I'm just trying to explain it in my own terms. Have you watched Dress Up Darling? Nah. Okay, so this is the art piece that I would redraw if I ever had the chance to. I feel like I would probably want to redraw this, but I've just never really got the time to. But I actually really like this. It's just that it's in a different style compared to my art right now. I really want to though. Yep. If you look at your old drawings just like 2 months ago and compare it to your recent one, you can see huge difference. That's looking pretty good. That shows you're improving and you're exploring more. That's a pretty good thing. Yeah. By the way, chat, I will end my stream soon because I've been like streaming for 3 hours and I've been talking non-stop for 3 hours. To kind of at least like take a rest as well. If you relate to this, you know how like if your first language isn't English, even though you might be pretty good at it, like it's still like not your native language. You know how you get tired from like speaking a non-native language? I do get tired from like speaking a non-native language. So I kind of need to take a break from like speaking so much English. And also because like I've been talking so long in general. I need some time to like figure out how this like hairstyle works, really. This is very complicated. Are you going to do more streams in the future? Yeah, like especially after I get a laptop, I'll probably do more streams. But when I get my new laptop, maybe like 2 months later, I will do more variety streams, like gaming, maybe like RPGs and like everything instead of just art. Because like honestly, I would be pretty down to do some like gaming stuff. It would be pretty interesting, you know. Oh, actually, a video I'm thinking of making would be how to make a VTuber live 2D model for free. I might make that soon, but I'm not very good at live 2D. I just know like the basic stuff. So yeah, I might make that in the future. I'm not sure. I'm investing in your content yourself. Thank you so much, Pakel. Thank you. You learn somewhat a lot just by watching videos from the art account Parako. It's great that you can find like a good art account that you can like learn a lot from. It's like important to find someone you can learn from. Like you need the figure in your life, you know? That sounds interesting to see your thought process on live 2D models. I used to do them and I used to be a lot better at doing that. But live 2D is so complicated that I'm really not sure about like doing a whole video on like explaining everything. I might do like the simplest stuff, but I don't know. That's definitely a flaw. Anyways, chat, actually, I'm about to end my stream because I'm actually getting a little tired, but I'll definitely stream again. A lot, maybe, in this holiday because, well, I'm having a holiday, right? So, yeah, I'm sorry for anyone who just joined because I've been streaming for 3 hours, actually. About 3.5 hours. But, yeah. Thank you so much for tuning into this stream. Thank you so much. Remember to subscribe if you aren't already. I have tutorials up on my channel and I'll get a new tutorial up very, very soon. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye.